Well, I have the pleasure to be in Manchester with Mike O'Dwyer. First of all, I have to say, Mike, we're not in ideal surroundings for recording an interview like this. We're actually in a little restaurant called Licorice that does the finest bruschetta I've ever tasted. But while we're on the subject of food, Michael, you decided when we were in Germany that you were going to go on a diet. Let me first of all start by saying what motivated you to make that decision?
Well, let me firstly say that isn't technically correct. I didn't decide, I was railroaded in the sense that you, before I knew it, had actually launched it and put it out on Facebook that I would lose 4 stone in order to help the charity. I was thereby, unfortunately, totally and utterly committed, and there was no way back, because again, the sort of sums that we're looking, kind donations came in very quickly from some good supporters, and
Bob Parker and Dan Healy.
Bob Parker, Dan Healy, yourself, etc.
We've got £3,000 committed so far,
Indeed.
Mike.
And with that, and I would hope to be able to bring in the region of 20,000. Unfortunately, there was no way back from me. I did think of every way that legally I could try and get out of it.
Sue me for putting it on Facebook without a written agreement.
I did. I contacted my lawyers, etc. But unfortunately, you had me. I was banged to rights. So the only way then was to go forward with it.
So, Mike, let me wind back a little bit and say, obviously, there's a little bit of tongue-in-cheekness there. Over a few beers, you did confess that you would like to be a little slimmer.
Indeed.
So, with the starting point in mind, can you share with us how much you weigh as you sit there today? What the starting point was?
David, if I told you that, I'd have to kill you. Unfortunately, there's no way I can reveal that. No, joking apart. I hadn't weighed myself, I would suggest, for 15 years, probably more years. So I got the most horrific surprise when I got a scale, and I weighed myself as at when we said we'd kick it off, which was the 1st of January. And to my everlasting shame, I found that I was actually near as damn it dead on the 21 stone mark.
Just about my age, that, Mike.
Absolutely.
And already, so you're up and away. How many days have you been at the diet, Mike?
I've been at it literally since the 1st of January. Been on a fairly strict diet. 3 things I kicked in immediately was totally altered my eating habits. So I've had the diet working. I've also joined a gym, and I've also bought a bike. So I've been at it hard for really seven days.
And confirm to us, how much have you lost in the first 7 days?
As at this morning's weigh-in, it was £10.
So you're only £6 off 25% of the 4 stone target you set yourself for 2015.
But hold on, you know, the first 2 stones should be the easier. I'll no doubt hit a wall, and even I will need. I don't think I could continue at every day doing 7 days a week at the gym, etc. I'll probably steady out, and I'm giving myself the year to achieve it.
You're going to drive back from Manchester today, and are you going to go to the gym at the tennis club tonight, Mike?
I've got to. There is no way other than that, because so much of my work is involved in sitting on my backside, be it in cars or trains or literally in front of a computer.
Or aeroplanes.
Yeah, or airplanes. I know that diet alone is not going to shift it. And whilst I may lose weight, it's important as well that I get fitter.
Get fit and healthy.
Well, as I say, some people's body is classified as a temple. For 15 years or more, mine has been an amusement park.
Mike, I've got to switch the conversation now to the reason, apart from your health and your well-being and being around to see your daughter grow up and the lovely wife of yours for more years. The other motivation is, of course, the charity, which is the Child Foundation, which you were a founder of and are a trustee and involved in the running and the operation of the Child Foundation, which is something we're both very proud of. Tell us a little bit about why you're so passionate about the Child Foundation.
Well, indeed, David, the Child Foundation, I think, is probably one of the best achievements that certainly in the last year that I can really say that we've took forward. The reason I felt that it was so important is we all see the charities today. There's numerous out there. What I wanted it to be was one, not, shall we call it, illness specific. I love the idea of spreading a little kindness where we can,
which is our strap line.
Which is a strap line. But more importantly, that it's not geographically limited or age limited, in the sense we do it for children, but that can be a child from 1 year through to a young adult, so to speak. And what we're really doing is considering every case on its merits, but more importantly, and I'm not here to disrespect any other charities, but we've all heard the horror stories of funds being raised and only a certain percentage getting through. What we felt was only by doing it ourselves that we could almost guarantee that for all the monies that we raised, that 100% of, for example, what I'll raise on this charity diet will reach the children.
Yeah.
And that is what we tasked ourselves with achieving, which I think sets us apart from many other charities.
Yeah, the primary goal of the Child Foundation is to maximise the amount of money that's donated that finds its way to the causes which it's been given for. And when you do an event, for example, Mike, such as a charity football match, you have inevitable costs, but we've got this kind of barometer of 75 to 80% for anything that we do will go to where it's supposed to go, and the others is unavoidable cost. We've got no one on the payroll, everybody's a volunteer. And with that in mind, Mike, as far as fundraising for your sponsored diet is concerned, we've obviously got a PayPal option sitting alongside this video on the website. What message would you say to people who know you or don't know you about give them some motivation to put a few pounds the way of the Child Foundation, and tell them how we'll respect that donation?
Well, no matter what donation, whether it be £1 or whatever, and as I said, I'd like to think that I've got some good friends that I can call on, but anybody out there who literally wants to see a child helped, and what we can is that every money that we bring in via this charity, we will make sure, David, that via the feedback, via your videos of the equipment that we purchase, etc., that we will demonstrate firsthand to our supporters what their actual donations have enabled us to achieve, because it's not about me, you, or any trustees. We're only as good as the people who help us, and I generally feel with the love and support of which we've already experienced, and some of the fantastic organisations who are behind us, that we can really make a difference in the lives of not only the children but their families. And that to me seems not, spreading a little bit of love and a little bit of kindness. If we can do that, we'll have done well.
I was going to say, we are humbled, aren't we, Mike, by the sheer number of individual people who have actually gotten behind the Child Foundation. 2,000 people came to our first event, which was a football match. We've had a dinner which was maximum subscribed, and there are now companies like Sheffield Sharks, like Coldwell Boxing, and like other companies in some of the industries that we work in that are actually putting money in to support the Child Foundation.
Well, it's been amazing since we launched, since we had the initial launch evening in Chesterfield, just how many people have come forth to offer their help and support. In fact, it's been gratifying. We hear so many stories in the papers of bad news, this and horror, horrific stories. There's still a lot of human compassion and warmth out there, and we've been fortunate enough, David, to be able to tap into quite a bit of that.
Final question for you, Mike. Which is about the first event that we'll do in the Midlands area. There's going to be a fuller preview of precisely what's happening on that night via another video in the future, but just give us a flavour for the date, the location, and roughly what's going to be happening on that fun night you've got planned in Solihull.
Right, well, we're organising the first Midland event. It'll be a comedy evening. It'll be a comedy evening based down at the West Warwick's Club down in Solihull. It'll be made up of basically looking to put 4 or 5 comedians, high level quality comedians on the bill. See if we can get another entertainer, a singer for the interval, etc. And generally a good evening for all concerned. We'll bring it in at a reasonable price. Haven't agreed the final price of tickets as yet, just booked it all, and it'll be set up for, it's Friday the 17th of April 2015. So we're just literally, that was all booked, and we're just putting the final touches and booking all the acts. And again, if anybody is seeing this video who would like to come along, they can get tickets via the website or contact me direct, etc.
Mike, we promised to keep the Child Foundation supporters and followers updated on the progress in your diet, so let's have another video interview in perhaps about 6 weeks' time, when you'll be a shadow of the man you once were.
Absolutely. And let me just say, Dave, I want to make sure that the people are aware that my weight, my incredible weight, is down to a medical condition. It wasn't me living, gorging and abusing myself. It was a medical condition.
Tell us what that medical condition was.
An overactive,
an overactive thyroid.
No, knife and fork. Thank you, Dave.
Mike O'Dwyer, thank you for your time.